I gotta say, when we met Vlad from Robinhood, completely changed my opinion of the company. Like, I was a fan of Robinhood, and I have been for a long time, but meeting Vlad and seeing him face to face and seeing his excitement about the company and how passionate he is
He
about
was open to ideas, which I thought is the most important thing. You need to be able to pivot and hear out other people and listen to the right ideas and ignore the bad ones. And we were like, Graham was feeding him some excellent ideas, and he was like totally interested. He's like, yeah, like we kind of working towards that. And
yeah, but it made me really think that Robinhood, I think, has what it takes to compete with the big people like Schwab, which I think a lot of people tend to compare them to in terms of account balance size and number of accounts and average account, things like this. Seeing Vlad and even going to Hood Summit in Las Vegas, we got invited. Incredible. And you meet the people there that, like, you see Tesla superfans where they're like all Elon high. I met those people, but for Robinhood, like a totally different segment of the market where people are so excited about Vlad and Robinhood. And I think he's one of the few people where after meeting him, I was convinced on the company. And we've met other people, big investors, where immediately after meeting them, like, all right, listen, I lost all faith.
I will say Michael Saylor was pretty convincing too.
Yes, Michael Saylor was the only other one that when Bitcoin was $50,000 when we filmed with him. Afterwards, I'm like, you know what, Jack? What he says makes a lot of sense.
No comment on Michael Saylor, but I will say this. That was the best interview Vlad has ever done. I watched that, and he's come a long way. He used to be terrible at giving interviews.
Oh, he was excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. That was great. Listen, the Robinhood's my number one position. It became my number one position this last year. It grew into becoming my number one position, eclipse Amazon. And my thesis has always been really simple. We have $100-ish trillion that will get transferred over the next 35 years to the younger generation through inheritance and other means. And a big chunk of that money is going to Robinhood. And beyond that, I have a second thesis on Robinhood, which is Vlad manages that company like a startup. There are very few companies in the world of that size where the founder CEO is, quite honestly, has the balls to still manage it like a startup and to take big risk and to break through walls and to ask for forgiveness as opposed to asking for permission. Yeah. And Elon is one of those guys. He gets credit for being one of those guys. Vlad does not get credit for also being one of those guys. So anytime I see a company like that with the capability of dominating a sector and literally like killing a sector and stealing all the business, you match that with a CEO like that, like it's game over.
Yeah. Here's the other thing is that he agreed to come on our podcast, which a lot of people don't do. And I think it's dumb not to come on a podcast, especially like a finance podcast. And we reach out to a lot of people and we either get a lot of no's or just never hear back from people that should be doing podcasts. And I think we'd be doing them a favor by doing a podcast. And Vlad was excited about doing it. And walking into his office, it's not like a corporate, headquarters. It looked like a house.
It also was surprisingly not extravagant.
No.
I was expecting we were going to walk into some sort of like crazy huge headquarters, the classic Google thing with the slides and, free food everywhere, buffets and this and that. It really looked like they were running relatively lean for how productive their company is, which I also think is a positive indicator.
And this is going to be another big one. Their 2.5% crypto match right now. They just brought it back. I don't know if it's targeted, but they had a 2% match when Bitcoin was at 120. Then they increased it, which I thought was really clever, to 2.5%. But Bitcoin is now $100,000. So technically, it's not costing them that much more, but it looks on paper that you're getting 2.5% on a lower amount, though. But it looks like 2.5% for whatever you bring into the platform. They're going to bring in a lot of money to Robinhood.
The thing that Vlad and Robinhood does is they play the long game. They are playing the long game. They are in this for the next 20 to 30 years to be the biggest financial company on earth. I have absolute confidence that they will be unless something really crazy happens. Listen, I opened up a Robinhood account. Well, I've had an account for a long time, but I put meaningful money into my Robinhood account for the first time this year, which was shocking because That's not something I ever thought I would do. I'm old school, but it was because of the match. It was the extra little thing that said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this, because it was that extra incentive that got me to pull the trigger. And listen, once you're in that ecosystem, they do a really good job. By the way, I mean, the fact that you can, prediction markets on your brokerage.
Oh man, don't get me started on that.
It's huge though, because you got to realize it's not about even how big of a market that can be. It's about the fact that you can do everything through one app, right?
That prediction market is great, and it's awful, because now every sports game I watch or go to, I don't want to say I'm betting. I am placing a hedged position on Robinhood in real time.
Position?
That's what they want you to, because it's not gambling.
How are you?
It's like you're hedging a position.
Oh, it's gambling, Graham. It's definitely gambling.
That is not a hedge.
It's speculation.
There we go.
I'm speculating on Robinhood. But what's funny is that I could watch, like, I went to a hockey game the other day, and I'm watching the hockey game at the same time as I'm watching my Robinhood account, because I bet on the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And when one team scores, like, you see the odds change within like 2 seconds. It's already priced in.
How much did you bet?
$100, and I lost it all.
But you had fun.
I had a great time, and I also bet on the, this was bad. I put money on Cuomo in New York because I thought it would be a closer race. Yeah. And he was priced when I bought in at like 7 cents. And I knew he was probably going to lose, but I thought that was underpriced. I thought it should be more of like, he should be a 15 to 20 cent bet, and that lost. I just held the maturity.
That's a fair thesis. That's my favorite type of investing, is when you see an asymmetric risk reward. Investors, like the way our brains work, we're not really capable of computing that, and those opportunities are out there all the time. It's like, okay, yeah, it probably won't happen, but there's likely a 2x better chance of it happening than how it's priced currently. So you have to take that, even if you're likely to lose. You have to get to size it appropriately. But you do it enough and you will win.
But here's the one thing that I think is worth looking out for with Robinhood, is that their fees on the prediction markets are so massive. It almost makes it not worth it to go through Robinhood. But the thing is, it's so easy. Like, it saves me from having to drive down to Red Rock and place a bet when I could just do it on my phone in like 2 seconds. But the spread between the bid and the ask and the Robinhood fee you pay adds up to like 10 to 15% a buy, and then 10 to 15% a sell if you sell it before it matures.
Okay, so I think they're looking at the long tail of customers who want to engage in that type of prediction market, as opposed to the professional gambler, right? That really cares that much. For people like me, I don't care. Like, if I want to bet on a game, I don't care if I can get a 5% better margin going to MGM, which I can't even do in Texas anyway, right? But even if I could, like I said, it's just easy, and they make it easy and fun. I can go on there and place a bet like 5x quicker than I could on a gambling app. It's just easier. And I think a lot of people don't want to have a gambling app. They don't want to have money inside of a gambling app. That's just not part of who they are. And I think Robinhood is going to end up with millions and millions of people casually betting on sports, casually betting on various things. And I think that's fine for them.
Do you know, this might be too nuanced of a question, how it's going to be taxed? Because they recently passed that law that says you could only write off 90% of your gambling losses. I don't know if this is going to be counted as gambling. And if it is, okay, it's going to be a hedged investment.
I don't think it will be.
Real talk for a second. If you're trying to grow on social media, short form content is literally digital gold. It has been one of the biggest drivers of success for the Iced Coffee Hour. We just take our best moments from the podcast and we can clip them up for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it.
But let's be honest, it takes a lot of time to do that properly. And that's why tools like our sponsor, Opus Clip, are a total game changer. For those unaware, Opus Clip isn't just a clipping tool anymore. It's a full-on AI-powered video editor built for creators. So incredible that it could automatically pull in your long-form YouTube videos, find the best moments, add captions, B-roll, and even schedule clips to post while you're away.
It's like having an entire editing team, but built by AI. Top creators like Jubilee and Darman are already using it, and we actually use it here on the Iced Coffee Hour. You see this clip Togi reacted to? It was made with Opus Clip.
And here's the best part. Everyone who signs up with our link gets 1 week for free, plus 50% off your first 3 months. All you have to do is go to opus.pro/icedcoffeehour or click the link down below in the description. Again, that is opus.pro/icedcoffeehour.
Seriously, guys, we cannot recommend it more. For what they deliver, it is extremely affordable. So if you want to get a bunch of content super fast, built by AI, I highly recommend Opus Clip. Thank you so much to Opus Clip for sponsoring this episode.